Good day! Are we digitally ready? This is the question that teachers and learners are probably asking right now. With the advent of DepEd's Digital Rights program, the Open Educational Resources, or OER, was woven together and finally realized. This project prioritizes the necessity to enhance the digital literacy skills of every teacher and learner in the country. Our OER mission is to connect the disconnected. OER is indeed an innovative initiative with a lofty aim to get disconnected schools and last-mile schools connected through ICT even without an internet connection.
It is designed to cater to the need of these schools for interactivity, digitalization, and delivery of 21st century skills that will ensure that every learner is future ready. Join us in another training workshop and learn more about open educational resources, whose primary purpose is to provide support and assistance to learners and teachers in this rapid advancement of technology. Our goal is to build and strengthen the capabilities of public and private teachers, school heads, and supervisors by teaching you to create and design interactive, localized, and contextualized instructional materials for teaching using basic, advanced, and proficiency software and tools. Surely, this will be another exciting and engaging webinar training workshop. Together, let's all rise amidst this crisis. Para sa bata, para sa bayan, para sa guro. Sulong Edukalidad!
Mabuhay! Good day to all! I am your tutor Madge. Welcome to ETUlay, a free online tutorial, an initiative of the Department of Education, Information and Communications Technology Service, Educational Technology Unit, ICTS EdTech. This program is aimed at helping and assisting learners from kindergarten, senior high school, ALS, Alive, and SPED learners. Aside from answering the modules, the ETUlay is offering programs which you will surely look forward to. Together with our parents and teachers, the ETUlay will bridge the gaps where difficulty and ease meet in learning new knowledge and skills. So, let us prepare our module, pen and paper. Ready your mind to see and hear worthwhile and interesting lessons. Let us now study and learn, together with our volunteer online tutors. Tara na!
Good afternoon, and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Sir Kevin, our director this afternoon, and our program head for junior high school science. And with me, I hope still Rogar is okay with the internet. So we're working online, we're live, and we're working on site. So please bear with us with the internet connection. Hello, Tutor Rogar.
Hello, hello, Tutor Jen. Sorry, nawala ako. Akala ko ba't ang tagal kung So, nawala pala talaga ako. Pasensya na. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
So,
sige.
ayun.
So,
Hello,
okay,
everyone. Kamusta po tayo? Isang mapagpalayang hapon sa inyong lahat. At nandito ako ngayon sa aming studio. Maraming salamat, Francisco Bangoy, National High School, na pinamumunuan ni Sir Rolando Capul. Maraming salamat din kay Sir Wee for allowing me to utilize this studio. Hello po sa inyong lahat.
Yeah, sana all my
Tutor
studio.
Jen?
Ako naman ay live ngayon sa laboratory. Yes, live sa laboratory ng Senior High School Department of Daniel R. Aguinaldo National High School in Davao City. So good afternoon sa lahat ng live audience natin.
Ayan. So, ayun. Hello po sa inyong lahat. Okay. Yan. So, let's have our attendance, Tutor Jen. So, first is you need to comment the following. Full name, of course, your section, your school, and the name of your science teacher so that we could able to recognize you and your school, and of course, your science teacher, grade 7 teacher, to be one of our mahusay students of the week. Right, Tutor Jen?
Yes. Yes. So please comment your full name, section, your school, the name of your school, and the name of your science teacher. If you can tag him or her in the comment section, it will also be better. And mo, Tutor Roger, last week, I messaged one. I asking kung pwede siya ma-feature as one of the cuties of the week. Teacher pala. so, so sorry, sir. Okay. And then, yeah. Student pala, ay teacher pala yun si sir. And then our live session now is aired sa Facebook and sa YouTube. So please share our live session on your social media account and share it to your group chat or your Facebook group so that we will have as many learners as possible. We can reach as many learners for this lesson. And in the comment section also after having your attendance, please tag two friends or more in the comment section. Ayan. Kasi last week, Tutor Roger, no, the trend sa participation was better because of
Yes.
new students joining us in the live session.
Yes, and we are very happy kasi mas dumagdag, maraming nagdagdag, maraming sumali, maraming salamat. I hope tuloy-tuloy po yung trend or shall I say trending. Gawin nating trending ang pagkatuto sa ETUlay tutorial program, 'di ba?
Yes.
Okay,
And
so
Tutor Roger, looking at the statistics last week, we even have schools using our session for their replay classes or remedial classes. So natay mga team, we have team replay ng mga schools.
yes. And also, Tutor Jen, sa school namin, most especially sa science department, we made this as our enhancement and remediation for the students. Sinali namin ito sa instructional learning plan namin. So for that, the students could able to participate in the live or they could also review
Yeah.
and to have recap of the lesson. Kaya and for the parents.
Yes, so excited na, Tutor Roger. We are now on week 5, and this week we will talk about waves. We'll talk about waves around us, and our reference material this week is still from SDO Davao City. That is quarter 3, module 4. It's module 4, but we are now on the week 5 of quarter 3. So we'll talk about waves. And Tutor Roger, what are our learning competencies?
Okay, but before that, Tutor Jen,
Hi.
we should not forget our mahusay duties of the
Yeah.
week and also the consistent, di ba? Coming from you, yun, consistent. Ito yung mga consistent students who always there for us from first grading or first quarter up to now. And also we would like to recognize the effort of the following schools and they were called as consistent schools. Diba? Okay, so to start with, unahin ko muna. Okay, so without further ado, let's recognize Royet Yambao, grade 7, section 1. His school is from Santa Lucia National High School, Division of Bulacan, Region 3. Wow, hello, hello. From Bulacan. I love Bulacan. Ang sarap ng kanilang chicharon. And their teacher or his teacher is Ma'am Rodora G. Zamora. Hello, hello po, ma'am. And his proud parents is Mrs. Bernadette and Mr. Roy Yambao. Hello po sa inyong lahat at congratulations, Royet. Pagpatuloy mo yan.
And we have another chuti, mahusay chuti for quarter 3, week 4 is Ray Allen C. Cloza of grade 7, section Earth. That's from Godofredo Reyes Senior National High School in Camarines Sur, Region 5. Ang kanyang science teacher is si Sir JC, FC. Si Mr. Julius Cesar Cadasio, and the parents, We have Mrs. Reseline and Mr. Ronel Closas. Congratulations, Ray Allen, and sa
Wow,
teacher and
biruin
parents.
mo. Yes, biruin mo, umabot tayo ng Camarines Sur at it's Region 5. Wow. Next is Freya Sherry V. Rimante, grade 7 Earth. Okay, I think
Classmate.
classmate sila na ni Cloza. Grade 7 Earth, National High School, Camarines Sur from Region 5. Okay, with her same teacher, Sir Julius Cesar N. Cadasio, with her loving parent or guardian, Mr. and Mrs. Michael Remante. Hello po sa inyong lahat.
Yes. And isa pa, we have si RK Kabuhat, yung name niya sa Facebook kasi RK, participative din ito last week. Si Ryan Christian, yung Ryan niya pala, I'm so sorry, may H daw yan. Chutoroga. So, si Ryan Christian Kabuhat, that's from grade 7E or Ipil of Pulong Buhangin National High School in Bulacan, Region 3. Kanyang science teacher ay si Sir Sherwin S. Haldo. And parents niya is si Mrs. Cherry and Mr. Ruel Kabuhat. Congratulations, RK, kay Sir Sherwin and the parents. See, maybe we lost Tutorogar. So after kay RK, we still have tuties now to recognize other tuties. Sige. I hope Tutorogar will be back. So please allow me to share if ayan. So we have RK and our tuti also is Erich J. De Guzman of grade 7 section Rosal from Bajet or Bajet Castillo High School in Bulacan from Region 3. And kanyang Science 7 teacher ay si Ma'am Cheryl Mabanta. And ang parents si Mrs. Rita and Mr. Eduardo De Guzman. Congratulations, Erich J. De Guzman. Yan. Sige, well, wala pa si Tutorogar. We also have Ariane D. Usi, grade 7, section 2 from Santa Lucia High School, Division of Bulacan, Region 3. Ang kanyang Science 7 teacher ay si Ma'am Rodora G. Zamora. And the parents, Antonio F. Usi and Charlie D. Usi. Congratulations, Ariane, to the teacher and the parents. Keep participating and joining us in our live session. Last but not the least, for our mahusay chuti of the week is Hazel Faith C. Villamore of grade 7 section Bigonia. Kanyang school is Francisco Bangoy National High School, Davao City, here in Region 11. And ang kanyang Science 7 teacher is si Tutorogar Garcia. So hello sa lahat ng mga learners from F. Bangoy National High School. Ang kanilang mga section ay mga flowers. So, hello kay Hazel. Congratulations. And ang kanyang parents naman, sila Mrs. Nida and Ernesto Villamore. Congratulations, Hazel. So, aside from this, mahusay chutis, we also would like to recognize our consistent. And so, please use this one. Our consistent chutis. These are consistent learners in science. We have Rianette Soriano, Samantha Blasi, Alriza Zaidane Gaza, Kerubin Villamore, Renz Guyver Calianta, Marvin Capulong, Carla Miguel Malonzo, Joanel Celebrar, Aksha F. Patayon with her guardian, si Ma'am Janet. We have Kari Jovita, Richmond Magusib, Diosa Espiritu, Xavier Rafael, J.M. Ladignon, RK, and si Joseph Edzil Riego. Consistent because sila from start ng airing and then they also participate and for several weeks. Thank you very much. And to the teachers also, thank you for motivating your learners. And aside from this, we also would like to recognize, ayan, parami ng parami ang ating mga consistent schools, mga consistent in Science 7. We have Alicia Vocational School, Bagnos Integrated School, Baruya High School, Bekuran High School, Dasmariñas Integrated High School, F. Bangoy National High School, Godofredo Reyes Senior National High School, Imelda Integrated Secondary School, Ingod Ramona Integrated School in Isabela, Llano High School, Luis Fe Gomez Diamantina National High School, Macabebe High School, Novaliches High School, Pampanga High School, Partida National High School, Pulong Buhangin National High School, Santa Cruz National High School in Binacod Campus, and Santa Lucia National High School. And I also would like to thank my mga team replay from last week's session. We have Doña Carmen Denia National High School, Daniel Araginaldo National High School, and Banquero Integrated School in Isabela. So even if you're not watching us live, we are also looking into your participation. If you give us a comment sa live session nito, even sa link nitong session na ito, even after sa live. So thank you very much. And ayan, we are now on week 5. So we're looking forward to still having you with us for this week and in the weeks to come. So napakita namin kanina ang reference material is from SDO Davao City. Ang ating most essential learning competencies, dalawa for this week, is for you learners to infer that waves carry energy and describe the characteristics of sound using the concepts of wavelength, velocity, and amplitude. So for the past weeks, we've been talking about motion, how we describe motion in terms of speed, velocity, movement, in terms of distance, displacement, and acceleration. Now we're going to talk about how waves carry energy and how movement is affecting these waves also. So hello sa lahat ng mga live learners natin. We have 53,000. Okay, so our objectives this afternoon is for you to define the nature of waves, compare the types of waves, and describe the characteristics of sound. In particular, we are going to talk about an example of wave, and that is sound. So these are our objectives. So as usual, now when we begin our session, we have our question for you. If you're ready, please let us know, because we will start with a pre-test. So if you're ready, please let us know in the comment section. You can even tag as many friends para sabay na kayo matuto with us. Okay, so let's start. Mabuhay daw. Hello, Sir Sherwin Haldo. Ayan na, Sir. Napagkamalan ko estudyante. Okay, so let's begin kasi ready na po si JM and many more. Ayan, let's try. We have 3 items for the pre-test. Question number 1. Which of the following is not a transverse wave? A, visible light. B, water wave. C, radio wave. Or D, sound wave. Ayan, kasi ready na sina Sam, sina Xavier, sina Bianca. Ayan. Bianca is also back. And you have Alriza. Sige. So which of the following is not a transverse wave? Yan, may answer na. So ang correct answer for number 1, ayan, may sumagot na. Let's see if you got it correctly. For number 1, answer is letter D, sound. Sound wave is not a transverse wave. Question number 2, sige, okay lang yan, may magkamali kayo kasi pre-test pa naman ito. Okay, for number 2, which of the following travels as a mechanical wave?
Hello, Tutor Jen. I'm back. So
Yes.
weird.
Okay lang. So yeah, we're now on question number 2.
Sige, go.
Which of the following travels as a mechanical wave? A, sun's UV rays. B, sound waves. C, radio wave. Or D, X-ray. Which of the following travels as a mechanical wave? Tingnan natin if tama ang inyong sagot. Ayan, see. And special mention kay Ma'am Luz Eliza from Region 11, Bunturan National Comprehensive High School. Siya po ang isa sa aking science teachers. Kaya naman, nag-science major ako.
Wow,
Ayan.
galing.
So, Ayan, tingnan natin yung sagot nila, Tutor Rogar. For number 2, answer is letter
Ay,
B, sound. Sound wave.
wow.
Question number 3, Tutor Rogar.
Okay, number 3, what happens to the amplitude when there is a high intensity of sound? A, there is a low amplitude. B, there is high amplitude. Letter C, there is static amplitude. Or letter D, there is minimal amplitude. Okay, so this is just pre-test. So don't worry if you got low score or mali kayo. We will going to discuss naman that one in our proper discussion. Okay, so what's your answer for number 3? Hello to everyone. Yes, Jercel Lloyd Gerance answered letter B. Okay, there's Ma'am Janet answered 3A. Okay, so what's the answer? The correct answer, it's letter B. There is a high amplitude when there is an high intensity of sound because amplitude and the intensity of sound is directly proportional. Ay, nag-discuss na
Sige.
ako.
Ah,
Okay.
sige. Yes. So, this afternoon, we're going to talk about waves. And first, we'll have nature of waves, characteristics, and then propagation. So, we'll have the nature of waves first. So, few things we have to recall, tandaan natin, is that waves can be formed anywhere. And I think the very common setting where we can see this is sa dagat, di ba, Chitorogar? Kagagaling mo lang sa
Yes.
Surigao. Oh. So waves can be
Mm.
formed anywhere. Although mas maano siya, mas ma-appreciate natin siya sa pag nakikita natin yung waves sa dagat. It occurs when repetitive motion, which we call vibration, takes place. And there are waves that exist but cannot be seen. Okay, so again, they can be formed anywhere. It's formed by vibration. That's repetitive motion, and they can they exist. There are those waves that exist, but not necessarily na always na makita. So the question is, what really is a wave? When you say wave, it's a periodic disturbance that travels away from its source in which energy is transmitted. So please note, energy is transmitted because of wave. And yan, Chuturogar. So we have here a scenario. We have a boy and he's tapping his hand on the water, and there is, let me use a pointer again. There is a paper boat.
Paper boat.
Paper boat. Ayan. So how does the wave transmit energy from one place to another? So you have here a boy, there's this water, just to illustrate the movement, you have that curve, and here is the paper boat. So how does a wave transmit energy from one place to another? Now, Tutor Rogar will guide you through the analysis of the picture.
Okay, so as you can see on the picture, I think the boy is like playing a paper boat. Now, in just simple activity, we were able to learn about how this wave transmit energy from one place to another. Okay, as the boy taps his hand on the wave, this will start a wave pulse. Okay, so again, as the boy taps, meaning yung sa tubig, nilalaro niya yung tubig, this will start a wave pulse. So may wave na nangyayari. So it refers to a single disturbance that will start the series of disturbances or waves. So meron ng disturbance sa water because the boy interacts with water using by tapping his hands, right? And the wave pulse created by the boy's hand has put energy into the water, right? And this energy travels in the form of waves from one place to another. This transmission of energy makes the paper boat moves rather. So therefore, hindi niya ginalaw yung paper boat. Pero gumalaw ang paper boat because there is wave. There is disturbances of water, and that's what we call the wave. So may transmission of energy from the boy to the water going to the boat. And that's the reason why the boat is moving. Yan.
Yes, and ito, Tutor Roger, Sam is saying that the illustration or the figure is similar to what they have done in their science class on experiment.
Wow. Galing naman, Sam.
Yes. Yan. Sige, okay lang yan. Yeah, we have, si Arian, okay lang late. We'll continue learning. So we're now on the types of waves. There are 3. So we'll talk about each type, one at a time. We have transverse, longitudinal, and surface waves.
Surface wave.
Yeah. Let's start with the transverse wave. Yan si Tutor Roger, may video nito. Ayaw niya natin i-share. For transverse waves, they happen when the waves travel in a direction that's perpendicular. So we have here, for illustration purposes, we have here your fixed point. No? Fixed point natin here. Yan, kung nasan yung pointer natin. That's your fixed point, and you have here a rope. Kasi move mo siya. Okay, pag move mo ng rope, you have here the direction ng movement ng rope and the direction of the movement of the wave. That is just to represent the wave in this figure. So the figure here is an illustration of a transverse wave where the rope here shown, the rope waves travel up and down. Now, if you move it, it will travel up and down, and the wave movement moves horizontally. So some examples of this type are, you have infrared and UV rays. So ito yung na-mention kanina na there are waves that exist but cannot be seen. So our eyes cannot detect this type of waves. But we have a transverse wave in this form. Sound is another example. No, we'll talk about sound later. So we have transverse waves. The second type is will be explained to you by Tutor Rogar.
Okay, so the second type is longitudinal waves. Happen when waves travel in a direction parallel to the direction of wave movement. Sound is an example of this type. So as you can see on the picture or in the diagram, one of the example that you're able to describe a longitudinal wave is playing a coil spring. This will move backward and forth. Yan. So we have the direction of the waves going back and forth, or the direction of the wave moving going back and going forth. Okay, so that is an example of a longitudinal wave, and best example for that is the sound wave.
So that's the second type. And the last type is a surface wave. Okay, so surface waves happen when the waves travel both as transverse and longitudinal waves, meaning it has the characteristics now of transverse and longitudinal waves. In this case, the movement of the wave particles at the surface is nearly circular. So this is a parang top view now of the movement of water particles. So the water in this figure, okay, or as compared to the previous examples in the surface wave, the water particles here move horizontally and vertically to the direction of the wave movement as seen in the figure. If we recall, okay, transverse wave, ang movement ng wave is up and down, perpendicular to the direction of the wave. Kay longitudinal is parallel to the direction of the wave. Surface wave here, it moves up and down and as well as back and forth. Okay, so ang difference nila is the movement.
Yes. Then we have these mechanical waves and electromagnetic waves, and this is how do waves propagated. So in first is mechanical waves occur when waves travel through a medium such as solid, liquid, or gas. For instance, when you strum the guitar, wave movement would not exist without the string. So the string serves as the medium for waves to occur. Another example is the sound waves. So since sound waves is a longitudinal type, so it requires solid, liquid, or gas material such as air to propagate the sound. Okay, so under longitudinal wave is mechanical wave. On how we going to anong other term ng propagate, parang how to produce, like it could be in mechanical way or in electromagnetic way. So on the other hand, if we see electromagnetic waves, it occurs without the aid of any medium. Okay, ano ibig sabihin ng medium? Hindi yung siyang size ng t-shirt, ha? Kasi ako kasi dati when I was young, sorry sa ko, bagong kasi, bagong yung brace ko. Akala ko yung medium na sinasabi ng teacher namin before is size ng damit, like small. Ko, bakit medium? Baka large ako. Something like so, medium is an instrument that could be part of a certain situation. So for this medium is an instrument, or it could be a thing, could be solid, liquid, or gas. Yeah. So the waves existing in the sun's ultraviolet rays for the electromagnetic waves. It could be X-rays, it could be radio waves, are example of electromagnetic waves. And also the sun's ultraviolet rays. Okay, again, there's no medium for electromagnetic wave, only for mechanical waves. Those are two things on how we're going to propagate or to produce wave. Tutor
Yes,
Jen?
yes. And this afternoon, Tutor Roger, now we also have learners who are under physical science class. They're watching. They're from
Wow.
Mariana National High School. So maybe that's part of their review. And last week,
Thank
Tutor
you
Roger,
so much, Mark Pasqua. Grade 12
yes,
ka. Galing.
they're also learning this in physical science. And
Hello,
last week, Tutor
Balbing.
Yes. Last week, Tutor Roger, I learned from one of our teachers here sa live session natin na they're using ETUlay session for their quizzers to review for a competition
Wow,
soon.
really? Galing.
Sana wala kaming mali.
Congrats. Yeah, sana. Oo nga.
Yes.
Pasensya na sa
And
mga side comments namin.
yeah. So
Para hindi
again,
boring.
yes, so ayan na po, we talked about the types of wave. We have transverse, longitudinal, surface waves, and we have here means of waves to propagate. That's mechanical or an electromagnetic wave. So we now go into characteristics, Tutor Rogar. Maraming terms dito. We have characteristics of a wave. So if you have your phone, you can take a screenshot of this diagram, or if you can draw right away, please do. And we have terms after this slide. So a lot of concepts to take in. Ayan, so let's have the terms. Okay, take turns kami ni Tutor Rogar. So going back to the diagram, we have, start tayo sa highest point. That's the crest. Now the point at the highest part of the wave here, the highest point. So if they're familiar, sa dagat, the highest point, that's the crest. Now the highest point of the wave. Next, Tutor Rogar.
So we have the trough. Okay? It's the lowest point of the wave. Yan. Yan. Yung sa yung highlight ni Tutor Jan. Is it trough or trove? Hindi, I'm not sure. Trough, tama. Okay. Okay, thank you, Tutor Jan. Next.
Okay, we have amplitude. So we are hearing amplitude also when we're talking about sound. So when say amplitude, that's the maximum. Ito here in the diagram. It's the maximum displacement of a wave on either side from its normal position. So in this diagram, itong flat line here, that is if that wave is in rest or its normal position. Once mag-start siyang move, the maximum displacement of that wave is what we call the amplitude. So 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago, we talked about displacement. So we're going to have the measurement for amplitude, how we deal with displacement. This is the one characteristic. Now, it's amplitude, the maximum displacement. As compared to crest, that's the highest point para hindi na sila ma-confuse. Okay.
Yes.
And ito pa isa, Tuturogar.
And the wavelength is the distance between any two successive crest or trough. Yan, it's the distance between the two. Common ito sa mga nag-edit ng recording. Diba? May nakikita kayong parang graph sa LCD screen ninyo or sa computer mag-monitor. May mga ganun, may up and down, may movement, something like that. So, common ito sa kanila. And just to know na para yung may music ba or wala kasi may movement. Kung wala, tama yung sinasabi ni Tutor Jen, pag straight line lang siya, meaning no voice at all or no sound at all. Yan.
So we have again crest, trough, amplitude, wavelength. We still have two more terms. We have frequency. Gaano kadalas, karami. Frequency, the number of waves that travel at a particular point for every 1 second. So if we are going to go back to the diagram from this point and this end, if that is a particular point we are considering, itong line, how many waves do we see for every 1 second? So may fixed point, diba? Balik tayo sa start ng quarter ulit, Tuturogar, we talked about reference point. Okay, so how do we know we're moving? So may reference point tayo dapat. So if we talk about the points here, ito, and your endpoint, so how many waves do we see for every 1 second in that particular point? So the number of waves that travel there is what we count as the frequency.
Yan. And speaking of number, we have the period, which is the time covered for one complete wave to travel at a certain point. So the term there is period. Okay, it's the time covered for one complete wave to travel at a certain point. Yan. So I hope you've able to familiarize the following terms needed for our discussion because these terms are really important in learning waves.
Yan. So wala naman sa competency nila, Tuturogar, na yung computation, pero this is a baseline concept na when they go to a higher competency, they still have to remember this terms.
These things or these terms will be met soon in their senior high or in their college years. So wag po natin yung kalimutan because those are basic pa naman.
Yes. Okay, so we proceed kasi ito pa na sa wave pa ito in particular, but we'll learn more about wave as we use sound as an example. So, kasi ito yung familiar sa atin, like now, you're hearing us, you're hearing your neighbors or your surrounding. So, let's talk about sound as an example and how it travels now in waves. So, I'm speaking now. You can try also speaking there while listening. Try to feel your throat. You hold it here. Or yung throat. So, you hold here sa my neck. And then, try to feel. Try to feel your throat when you speak. And you can feel that your vocal cords are vibrating. So, those vibrations that you feel are regarded as the disturbances, diba? Repetitive motion, if we say vibration, repetitive motion, they are the disturbances that will eventually create the sound. Yan, may naririnig ka. So the vibrations here, the vibrations will now carry the energy to our ears and will be interpreted by our brain. So that's how our organs and organ systems work together. Okay, so the sound waves would need a medium. Sinabi ni Tuturogar, hindi siya size, When we say medium, parang siyang, parang ano yan, daanan, ganun. So, medium in the form of a solid, liquid, or gas. And alam natin, if you tap any surface now, where you're seated now, or yung hinahawak mo, you tap your ball pen on a table, and you can hear a sound. The sound that you heard is caused by that vibration. So, sound here, as an example, cannot travel in a vacuum. So, it's a mechanical wave, di ba, Chuturoga? It needs a medium. It needs a platform para dun siya mag-transmit. Ito na-mention mo, Chuturoga, dun sa second paragraph.
Yes. Okay. Sound is an example of longitudinal wave where sound waves travel in a direction parallel to the direction of wave movement. It is also classified as mechanical wave since it needs a medium to propagate. So, yun, again and again, mechanical wave and longitudinal wave. An example for that is sound wave. Next.
Yes. So, wavelengths, ato na Chuturoga, frequency and pitch. Frequency and pitch. So, when we're talking about the wavelength, na-define natin kanina, di ba, say wavelength, that's a point from one crest to another or from one trough to another. So, the wavelength of a sound is determined through its frequencies, the number of waves passing a particular point. When there is a high frequency, such as this one, in the diagram above or the drawing above, when there is a high frequency, the wavelength of sound is smaller. Ayan, this is from one trough to another. The wavelength of sound is smaller, while a low frequency sound has a greater wavelength. Okay. So those frequencies are perceived through pitch. And alam na yan ni Chuturoga kasi singer din yan, choir member. So, when we say pitch, it's the highness or the lowness of a sound. A high pitch means it has a high frequency like this, while a low pitch sound has a low frequency. So, the illustrations here will help you remember. High frequency, shorter wavelength. Low frequency, higher. Here, the diagram from one trough to another, that's bigger wavelength. And speed, ano yung speed of sound naman, Chuturogar?
So if we say speed of sound determines how fast or slow sound travels. It is dependent on the kind of medium it travels. Hence, since sound travels fastest in solid, since its molecules are closely packed, and slowest in the air since its molecules are loosely packed. So balikan natin yung matter, di ba? In solid, it has really intact molecules. Compare mo sa air or liquid. So that's why speed of sound really travels fastest compared to water or to liquid or gas. So, mas mabilis talaga in solid.
Yes. Sound travels faster in solid. So, we have also application this time, Chuturogar, pag sa sound, pag sinabi natin amplitude, na-define natin kanina si amplitude. But this time, what is amplitude when we speak of sound? We say loudness and intensity. Gaano siya kalakas or kahina. So that's when it comes to sound. Intensity is the amount of energy that is transmitted. And pag si Chuturogar kumanta, and dito yan, pwede sa soft sound or sa loud sound. Pag ako kumanta, dito yan sa noise. Classify. So we have amplitude and intensity of sound. And so practice, Chuturogar. Our time is almost up. So you can still have 5 questions. And
yes. Okay. So we have this one, number 1, which has a higher frequency. Ayan, so it's been discussed by Tutor Jen. Is it A or B? Choose.
Sino, may answers na, ayan, while we're waiting, hello to our learners from Ocampo National High School in Region 5. Hello po. So answer number 1, ayan, may sumagot na Tutor Rogar. Ang sagot nila.
Okay. Sagot
Correct.
is letter A. Very good. Congratulations. Ang galing. Next,
About
Tutor
number
Jen.
2, yes, number 2, which of the two has a softer sound? One with fewer frequency, ang isa has a higher frequency, which has a softer sound. Answer, ayan, sige.
Yan, yung mga answers
letter,
na.
Yan. Letter A. Congratulations, correct ang sagot. For number 3, Tutor Rogar.
Medyo bilisan natin, Tutor Jen. Baka mag-overtime tayo. Which medium can sound travel faster? So, ito yung diniscuss ko. So, as you could see, in letter A, siya, what kind of state? B, ano siya, what kind of state? A or B, the correct answer for number 3, it's letter. Okay.
Answer.
The correct answer, letter B is solid. Solid state of matter. Okay, next, Tutor Jen.
Yes, for number 4, which has a higher amplitude. Okay, higher amplitude. Yan, ang sagot nila. We'll see if you got it correctly. For number 4, the answer is letter B.
Yan.
And last item, Tutor Rogar.
Which has a smaller wavelength. Okay. Again, smaller wavelength. What's the answer? Okay, the correct answer for number 5, it's letter. Very good. It's letter B. Yan.
So congratulations, and ayan, Tutor Rogar, we'll end up to this point and the let us practice session. So maybe the assessment, we'll have it next time, as it's our airing time is up already. So we'll leave you with a
okay naman yun, review na rin sila, diba?
Yes.
Okay naman yun. Okay, so quote for today is, you can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf. So on my takeaway nito is that you cannot stop the problem, actually. You cannot stop all the trials in you. However, you can learn how to get with the we could able to go with the flow. You cannot do anything the problem, just pray and learn to surf out of those problems that you have, right? A very nice quotation, Tutor Jen.
Yes, I'm sure si John Robert Embolode can relate to this quote. And our learners from the different schools. So we'll see you again next week. But before anything else, please do not forget to share your insights by using our hashtags, #ScienceETUlay7 and #ScienceTutorRogueGen. Ayan, nasa screen po niya yung color orange. Please use that and we'll see your insights, your learnings from today's session. Even those who are in the team replay, please do. Once again, I am Tutor Jen from SDO Davao City.
I am Tutor Rogue from SDO Davao City. Thank you so much and God bless us all. Ayan. So thank you for comments and suggestions. Email us at edtech@deped.gov.ph or you can scan the code. Right, Tutor Jen?
Yes. Up next, Tutor Z and Tutor Marky for Science 8. Thank you po. See you again next Monday.
Yes, see you.
Ang husay naman! Natapos mo ang iyong tutorial session kasama ang iyong mahusay na ETUlay tutor. May bago ka bang natutuhan? I-share na yan gamit ang #ETUlayLevelUp. Huwag aalis ha, dahil may susunod pang programa na pwede mo ring panoorin at salihan. Dahil naghihintay na ang iyong mga tutors. Happy learning dito sa ETUlay!